Thank you for being there, and it's TMI Tuesday, and as you know, we are looking at the issues about the scourge of COVID-19 and how we can curtail the disease, and looking at the cases and the efforts of the federal government to really secure a cushioning impact for the vulnerables. And we hear reports even in the president's broadcast, some days back, where he did say that the palliatives will be reaching and extending to 3.6 million households. And as it gets the former 2.6 million households, extending it by 1 million households to benefit. And again, we look at the conditions like what the Humanitarian Affairs Minister did say, Sadia Farouk, that those who have money in the account from 5,000 and above will basically, those who have more than 5,000 will basically not enjoy the palliative or the conditional cash transfer. But those who have 5,000 below could also stand to benefit. And then the recharge rate condition, which was also attached to it, where you your daily recharge above 100 naira also could stand you not qualified to get this. We discussed this with analysts on TMI today, and starting from my extreme left, I have an articulate and vibrant analyst who is a clergyman, and he is the General Overseer of Sword of Liberation Bible Church, Bishop Austin Igbasan. Thanks for coming, Bishop.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, viewers.
And next to him is a custodian of the law, and you agree with me that as we go about the issues discussing this, and that has to do with the federal government and the palliatives and the social net programs, we need some robust knowledge of the law in that regard. And I have one-time legal counsel and PRO to NBA Benin branch, and is currently a member of the National Executive Committee of the NBA, and is no one else but Ebosele Okifo. Many thanks for coming, Ebosele.
Good morning, Philip. Good morning, viewers at home.
I'll start with you, Bishop Austin. We look at the issues surrounding the need for palliatives to be given to the vulnerable, and looking at the lockdown, total lockdown on FCT, Ogun State, and Lagos. There have been some discrepancies, some fears, some residents reacting over the cash, the condition cash transfer, and the palliatives not getting to the very needy, the poor. Now, what do you have to say about federal government's palliatives in this direction?
Well, it is unfortunate that a country like Nigeria has no database, has no structure in planning. You know, you don't plan for, you don't run around where you have crisis. You plan for crisis. It's like what we are experiencing in the fight against insurgency. Other nations of the world, they prepare for war in the time of peace, because it is easier for you to prepare for war and get your equipment at a cheap price than to go to black market. So like I said, it is quite unfortunate that we're having this kind of situation where there is no national planning. The criteria that is being put on ground, there are Nigerians that doesn't have bank account. They are so poor they don't have an account. Then how do you reach out to such people? You are talking about 5,000. There are people today that they don't have a bank account in Nigeria. Is it all Nigerians that have account? There are people that what comes into them is not even enough for them to sustain their life, not to talk of going to bank to go and put money there. So that is one. There was a day I was in the bank and somebody was waiting for a transfer with a baby in her back, and the baby, the temperature was very high, and was coming to the bank manager. They have not said the man said they have not sent it. He said the man said I have sent it. I went outside to call, and I asked the bank manager, how much is this woman waiting for? He said the baby is terribly sick. The woman was waiting for 800 naira. That somebody is sending. I have to give the woman 5,000 in my hand. They say, madam, take 5,000. Don't even wait for it. 800 naira. The woman has called me 3 times to come with the baby at her back. So such woman, now you want to tell me the woman will have up to 5,000 in her account? It is not all Nigerians that have accounts, because so many people are so poor that they don't even have It is when you have reserve that you go and put money in the account. That is one. Then two, I want to say that there are many ways you can confirm, you can know the people, the palliative measure we are talking about. You know, politicians, and one thing is this Nigerian factor, that where immediately there is something that is like this outbreak now, other nations of the world, they are looking at it from a humanitarian side. But let me tell you, politicians will look at it at that this thing that is available, how many houses will I buy in Banana Island in the name of COVID-19? And I will say I'm giving it to the people. That is one. Then two, the people are going to disburse to. One of those people that run around me when I was campaigning the other time, this is the best time to call them COVID-19 victim. I call them the vulnerable. Now, the issue is that the planning is not there. The foundation is not there to be able to reach out.
Okay.
And if we want to go by it now, there are ways by which we can do it when we have this kind of challenge. Since we don't have a database where we can be able to know those people that are vulnerable, there are people today that live on daily work, that if they don't work in a day, there is no how they will eat.
Okay, but don't forget that there must be a point where the federal government will start, and you made it clear that we may not really be having that ability or creating a credible database for social safety net programs like this. But at least it's been started by the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. Isn't that a score point? Looking at it, that 2.6 million households that was said will benefit has now been increased to 3.6. Taking it from that.
Now, well, the people that benefited from, where did they come from? The first part of people that benefited from this particular disbursement of money. And what was the criteria that they used to decode or to be able to assign and feel that these people are the vulnerable? Now, when you look at this mindset, you discover that even the disbursement of the money was through a sentimental part that goes through tribe, it goes through religion, it goes through ethnicity, and the location where you came from. Now, this is a country that belongs to everyone. And if we want to start from somewhere, we have to start, we have 6 geopolitical zones. And if we want to start distribution, and want to even take it as we want to do a test run, we can decide to pick A zone, B zone, and C zone. This zone must not be on one side. Now, the disbursement of this money started from one end, and the disbursement started with 20,000. They started giving people 20,000, and we were told that for 5 years, those people have been on collection of that money. Now, the question is that other part of the country, when you say this is not a new arrangement, I hear people say this is not a new arrangement. This money we have been collecting it, now we are being given 4 months ahead because of COVID-19. What happened to other region? What was the criteria that was used to design those who have been collecting for the past 5 years? And why is it not so loud that people in other area, I want to tell you, there are places in Niger Delta that they don't even see light, that they have not seen light. I'm telling you that one, not to talk of, you want to say one side of the country is poor. Poor people are everywhere. Just like Jesus said, he said, the poor you will always have. So every part of this country have the poor people. Now we are talking of giving to people. Now what about the people that have been collecting for the past 5 years? What happened to other people from other regions? What was the criteria that was used to design the vulnerable in those areas? What law gives them advantage of 5 years benefit over people of other areas?
Okay.
These are areas of concern. Now, if some people have been collecting for the past 5 years, and now we want to start COVID-19, we started with people who have been benefiting for 5 years, and we're in the same country in quotes.
Okay.
One kind of palliative measure is that I want to say that in voting, there are patterns of voting that are what people are zoned into areas that we have leaders that are community leaders. That if we want to start this kind of thing from, we go to the grassroots. It is from the grassroots you see the poor people. The poor people does not live in the urban. Only few poor people are in the urban area. The real poor people are in the interior. That we have a criteria from community leadership, from religious leadership. After all, we distributed voters card in this country.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Bishop Austin Igbasan. Now,
I did confuse you with my name.
Now to you, Okifo. Now, let's look at this aspect where, like what Bishop Austin Igbasan said. Now, this is strange to us. The COVID-19 pandemic is strange to the globe, and being that the federal government of Nigeria wasn't really planning for this, there could be potholes and issues about not having social net programs to this. But what do you make of this? Is this not also a score point for the federal government, being that at least it's starting this, which is unique to its government compared to the past governments?
Well, first of all, they will always have potholes. There's no way they will not have potholes. That's the federal government, because they have really not planned. You know, we have this attitude of always not planning, like the bishop said. We don't always plan, and it's like when you want peace, you get ready for war. You understand? Because if peace is not available, you go to war. Finally, you come to a round table. The problem we have in this country is that we don't plan. We hardly plan. So if the proper thing, the best way to have gotten this palliative to the ordinary people is to go through their accounts, because there's no household that you don't have at least one person having an account. And with the introduction of BVN, you know, initiated by the Jonathan administration, and will now have it, then you can always pay into their accounts. You don't even need to give them physical cash. That's the truth. Because if you say you want to now start moving and start giving them, at a point it will even be hijacked, even by these local politicians here and there. They will hijack it and give it to their supporters. It will not get to everybody. But if you use their account, because even if you have 5 accounts now, you only have one BVN. So even if you have 5 accounts, if they are going to pay in any money, any palliative to you, it's going to enter one of your accounts. It's not going to enter the 5 accounts. So that one helps very well. You understand? Because right now, even for the federal government, for INEC, for instance, to distribute voters register, until today, we are aware that over 78 million voters register have not been distributed. They are unable to distribute it to Nigerians of voting age and all that. How much less you are talking about money, giving out money. I think that's what they should have done. Use this BVN system, pay the money into the account. And I also condemn the issue of saying that somebody that has a 5,000 naira in the account or the other, that is the only person that will be responsible, that will be, you know, that will be entitled to palliative. I think it's also wrong, fundamentally wrong, because having the man that has 5,000 has a problem. Okay,
but again, don't forget the capacity of the government to pay this money into huge number of Nigerians.
That is why that's why I'm saying that lack of planning is what is affecting us. Why do we have the SS crude account?
Nobody planned for this. Nobody ever expected that this is going to come.
And you have to always plan for foreseen circumstances. How do governments in Europe and America, how are they coping with it?
Okay, but again, are you looking at the challenge of global recession that may be coming out from all of this, which is not peculiar to Nigeria alone?
Like now, if not for COVID-19, nobody knew that we had a department that has to deal with infectious disease, NCDC or something like that.
Yes, NCDC.
Some people don't even know that they exist, but they exist. And they have been budgeting money for those places. So it should not come as a surprise. Anything can happen. In government, you plan for the seen and the unseen. So if they have planned for it, it will not take anybody by surprise. What is wrong? Are we not supposed to have savings? The federal government ought to have savings. And I'm aware that we have savings. So if you have savings, what is your savings for? Is it not for a rainy day? Then when you have a rainy day like this now, you are supposed to take care of your citizens. You don't tell somebody to stay at home. Then he doesn't have source of livelihood. The money he has exhausted it, and you expect him to stay at home. Look at what is happening in Lagos and Ogun State now. You see, they tell you about 1 million boys. You know, these are boys that ordinarily they don't disturb anybody, because they work daily and they make money daily and they feed their family daily. Suddenly you have told them you cannot move. You cannot go to work. You cannot do anything. Yet you have refused to produce a palliative for them. And you expect them to sit there. Of course, they will come out and start attacking the little some people have. That is the truth. You cannot run away from it. So the federal government should use Nigeria's bank account to pay in something. You don't need to be distinguishing it that unless if you have 5,000 naira in your account and all that. We all know that even in the various banks, at times you cannot even withdraw below 5,000. Some banks will tell you you cannot withdraw below 5,000. So that is why some people will even have 5,000 in their account. If not, for the economic problem we have in this country, if you go to some people's account, it's zero. You won't get any money there. You understand? So if you as an executive, you are made to sit at home and you are not going to work, you are not making money, you are not doing it, the money you are using, of course, it will get finished. Then you are not saying that the person is not entitled to palliative. Why would the person not be entitled?
Okay, so
he lives, he has family, he has to also provide for them. So the palliative should be general. Let it go round. You don't need to be distinguishing it. You understand?
Okay. Some have said that being that this is strange to the globe, and being that the government of President Muhammadu Buhari has zero tolerance to corruption, that this could be a very unique government that can be able to really tackle this aspect of giving social net programs to the Nigerian indigents as compared to the past governments. What do you think about that, Bishop?
This holier than thou attitude is what I don't even want, because this government is more corrupt than any other government in the history of Nigeria. And I can give you instances that even we look, I give you an example. Aso Rock Clinic today was allocated with 4 billion. Madam First Lady came out and said, no syringe in this place. Mr. Mogu is sitting as acting chairman of EFCC. Has anybody been invited? Till today? Aso Rock, if Aso Rock Clinic is corrupt, is it UBTH? You want EFCC to come and investigate? That even in their nose, nothing has been done, nobody has been invited till today. I want anybody to challenge me that somebody has been invited by EFCC. But you will see somebody that government felt is their enemy. They will start running up and down after they carry uniform up and down. When they saw what is glaring that cannot be addressed. The issue of MTN bribe till today, has the government addressed it? The MTN bribe that is so bogus, whopping amount of money, has this government done anything about it? The man involved is late now. Has the government done anything about it? So the issue of bringing in this anti-corruption transparency, please, sir, don't. It is we in my place. They say not be masquerade where they dance. Now I go say now dance pass. Who they watch on? Now I go say now this number one masquerade. Now they dance pass. Let the masses who have seen the whole drama. What are we talking about? How much money is this government borrowing on everything we go on borrowing? Before the National Assembly went on reserve, we borrowed. If within this period we have borrowed a certain amount of money, everything is rubber stamp. What are we talking about? Let us not talk about corruption. We are talking of BVN. The government that introduced BVN, is it not corruption they want to fight? Do you fight corruption by tearing somebody's cloth in the market?
Okay, I think
technology.
I think this is not an opportunity for us to pass blames.
No, what I'm saying is
what to also help the federal government in ensuring that the process is transparent enough.
Now,
what do you see as a transparent process? Though you make mention of the BVN,
yeah.
And again, is it not a reality to you that the government may not have the capacity to disburse funds to huge Nigerian indigents?
No, nothing's supposed to stop this government of disbursing. I give you an example. The government of Jonathan introduced sovereign wealth fund. Those who are ministers today in this cabinet were the people that took the federal government to court. And they said money must be wasted. We are living per day. Our destiny is today. They took the federal government to court. And they took the matter to Supreme Court until they were given power to waste all the money. If that the mindset of Jonathan that time, that we should keep this money for rainy day. If we have a rainy day like this, we will have somewhere to fall back to. So when you are talking about past government are bad, it's like somebody that is talking that my father-in-law is bad, but now born your wife. If without your father-in-law, we don't have that wife, you call your wife. So let us not pass derogatory statement on other government. They build a platform. If they didn't put BVN in place, we will not have a means of reaching out to people and be able to. The government that brought BVN want to tackle corruption. That if you like, call yourself Adeola in Skybank, call yourself Muhammadu in UBA, call yourself Osarogwe in FCMB Bank. By the time your BVN come, it go drag everything together and say that one person, let they bear this 24 name. Okay. Are we not seeing our politician now bearing different name for primary school, bearing different name for modern school, bearing different name for polytechnic, and at the end of the day, they want to become governor? What I'm saying is that let us not paint this government as a white government. Now, with what has been on ground, if they are sincere about it, we have what it takes to pay this money into the account of all Nigerians. We have the money. We are not poor. We have oil nose diving. and we are buying fuel at a high price all over the world. When when oil is diving, you bring down the price, but our own left 85 naira to 145, and we're paying. And what happens to us? All those money that was coming in when we're supposed to be buying lesser. So what I'm saying is that the capacity of the government to pay, we have the capacity, but the will and the sincerity is what is lacking.
Thank you, Bishop Austin Igbasan. Now, let me come back to you to make it on the softer side.
Yes.
Now, we have this statement credited to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, that what Nigerians need at this moment as a stimulus package is not food, but electricity, free electricity for this period. Do you agree with that statement credited to Femi Gbajabiamila?
Well, there's no time that we don't need free electricity. How does electricity even come in now? You have light and you don't have food with you. It's important. Electricity, having constant electricity is important. I'm even surprised it is now that the speaker wants to start talking about electricity. I would have thought since 2015 they should be shouting with electricity, because we are aware during the campaigns they told us that a government that is unable to provide electricity 24 hours electricity within 6 months, then that government has no business in government. That was said by Fashola, and incidentally he was made Minister for Power among the ministries he headed. Yet the situation has deteriorated. As at when Jonathan was there, when OBJ was there, we used to have light. At times we have light for about 12 hours, 18 hours a day and all that. But now you don't even have more than, if you have light within the 24 hours, now you have only about 9 hours.
Okay, but can we prioritize that over food at this period where some places are on total lockdown?
We cannot, because how does that one not even relate to what he's saying? It shows that the guy, there's a disconnect between him and the masses. We are talking of how to survive. We are talking about light now. We are talking about how to survive. People have been locked up in their houses. You cannot come out. You cannot engage. For instance, now I am a lawyer. Since March now, I've not gone to court. Courts are not working. I cannot go to court. I cannot go and represent my clients. I can't move anywhere. Yet you expect me to feed my children. You expect me to provide for my family. How do you expect me to get the money when I don't? When my source of income has been shut off? Then you are talking about light. Okay. I would have been thinking that what the speaker should be thinking about is how to prevail on the federal government, on the executive arm of government, to say let them give palliative to Nigerians. Let them pay something into Nigerians' account for them to be able to survive. That is it. Because Nigerians are not even happy. Because we would have not even had this coronavirus if they had shut our borders on time. Yeah. You know, people are angry for the fact that as at the time they didn't want to shut up the borders, because Abakari was abroad then, Buhari's daughter was abroad, somebody like our speaker was also not around. So some of them in the executive, some of our leaders, they were actually outside the country when this coronavirus something broke out. Okay. So instead of the federal government to shut our airspace immediately, shut the border, they didn't do it, but they gave enough time for them to come back into the country. And that is why we have it. Tell me the average man, the average masses that brought in coronavirus, at least it's an illness that didn't come from Nigeria. It came from outside, from China. You understand? So for you to have brought it into Nigeria, you must have gone outside for you to bring it into Nigeria. And that is what the masses are suffering now. You know, so I would have been expecting that they are the ones that go to London, go to America as if they are going to Ring Road or they are going to Lagos and coming back. They cause this problem. So they should have been thinking of how to provide palliatives, knowing that the problem originated from there originally. They should have been thinking of how do we give palliative to Nigerians. I'm not telling us to sit at home. Now people have died. Even the people that have died from the hands of the security agencies are even more than the ones coronavirus have killed.
Okay, let's again look at the statement
because people are not struggling to survive.
Let's look at the statement credited to the Senate Deputy President, former Senate Deputy President Ike Ekweremadu. Yes. Where he also did say that at this point, federal government should be increasing the number of Nigerian indigents that should be getting these benefits of palliatives, and also increasing the amount given as palliatives. But again, the federal government did say that they are having about 25% capture of those that will benefit from the palliatives, yes, looking at limited resources. Yes. But how do you merge this statement credited to the former Senate Deputy President, Ike Ekweremadu, and the limited resources as posed by the federal government?
Well, if you say when you show sincerity of purpose, Nigerians will understand with you. You know, our senators, if anything they say now, will take you to a pinch of salt. Do you know why? Because they are not even living, above board. For instance, the cars they are going to use now, they just imported the cars into the country. You know, Toyota, the latest Toyota 2020, they imported it into the country, and that one will take millions upon millions of dollars for them to bring in those cars. Meanwhile, we have a local producer here in Innocent Motors. You understand? One would have expected that a government that is really sincere, you want to grow your economy, then you will now say, let us actually localize our consumption, the things that we produce, let's localize it. They are not doing that. So they are not even saving enough money. That is why we are having the problem of the money is not being enough. You know, you are producing cars. You have a company that is producing cars that can even produce armored vehicle. You are now importing cars from outside. The scarce foreign resources, you are using to import cars for the comfort of the National Assembly and the ministers and all that. This should not be. We should start thinking about how do we grow our economy. They are not doing that. You start shouting. I keep telling people all the time, you don't start fighting corruption like the way Buhari is doing. You start fighting corruption, you want the common man to say you don't want the common man to be corrupt. Meanwhile, you are the head, you are corrupt. You tell us, don't...
Well, you can't say that of the president, because there must be, like, you are a lawyer. For you to say anything, then you must have an evidence.
See, the issue there is that. The issue there is that.
And this is not the platform to do that.
Yeah, I know. If you start complaining that you want to put your house in order, the president is in charge. The box stops at his table. No matter what Abakari must have done now.
Okay, thank you.
You know, the box stops at the president's table.
Okay.
If we are going to praise the government for achieving success in any area, it will take the praise. If we also condemn him, he has to take it, because he has numerous, he spent years contesting for this position. So we thought as he came in, we will solve some of these problems. Why should we not have savings? That we have a problem now, we cannot solve it. It's unfortunate, because even the average person, you save for a rainy day. If we were not saving a little for a rainy day, by now we'll be on the street.
Okay. We are getting more cases of the virus, those who have been confirmed positive, and also we are getting more recoveries from the whole scenario. The lockdown in FCT and that of Lagos State and Ogun. What's your assessment of the federal government's efforts in ensuring that this virus is curtailed in these regions?
We will thank the federal government. But like I said, you know, I'm always at the masses side, not to clap for government. My own is on the masses side. So, but what they have done, like I said, there are people, the people that are recovering now, we are still silent about it. Why have they recovered? What have we done that make them to recover? That is what we should build on. We are making a lot of progress here. You went to bring Chinese doctors. When we have indigenous doctors here who are doing signs and wonder, and God has helped them, and none of those foreign doctors were around to help us manage the crisis. Now you have a crisis in your house, and your people in your house are managing it. Then you now went to Ring Road to go and say, Lareo, you are now asking, shouting people to come to your house.
But is it wrong to have an added knowledge? Because even the globe is also fighting hard to make sure that they are being assisted in this direction of fighting this cause.
It is not a wrong thing. You want an assistance. The person that took you to court, and you people are in court, now you go meet for assistance. Somebody that is beating your children outside is the one that is going to help you to cure the problem you are having. Is there sense in that one?
But again, don't look at the benefits that the construction company from China also made in Nigeria.
Have you seen?
So in as much as you are saying that, which have not been really investigated, but there's need to also give a scorecard to the government
what
in
I'm
terms
saying
of
is that
the efforts that they've been able to get in getting them assisting Nigeria.
Do analysis on China and see anybody that has done business with China that it is not China that will gain from everything. I want you to point to one country for me about China. What I'm saying is that now we have indigenous doctors who are doing well. We have heard about people who are even governors in this country who had coronavirus, and they used Agbo, and they came out of their crisis. What stopped us? We have a research center that we allocated money for.
Do you have the statistics for that?
Yes, I'm telling you. We had listen to the Speaker of Edo State.
Well,
day before yesterday when he was talking.
Well, we do not advise. We do not advise that helps.
What I'm saying,
self-medication be brought into this.
I want you to get me clear.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that if anything is being made, what is it that we are doing that is making them to recover? Let us build on. I'm not talking about hearsay.
Okay.
I quote exactly the Speaker of Edo State when he was talking day before yesterday. He said, I took my medication and the advice and this sort of local harm. Now, we heard that one from Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. Now, what I'm saying is that why is it that we always condemn everything that is our own? Why is it that it must come from outside? We have medical doctors, even our NMA. The president of NMA, Dr. Francis Fadwile, condemned the act of bringing these people, seeing their effort, their negative effort as far as COVID-19 is concerned. And we are not having it out of hand. Our doctors here are managing it, and they are doing excellent work. I tell you, Philip, there are doctors in Lagos who have not seen their wife for the past 3 weeks. Because after working, they go to a hotel. They can't go. They said they are at risk to go and see their family at this moment until this crisis is over. And yet these guys are doing 24 hours back to back. You now want to go and bring foreign doctors because you want them to take the glory of what God is helping our people to do. I am not part of it.
Are you by this saying that the federal government is not paying attention to
which kind of
really
attention? I ask
providing
you,
welfare for the medical
ambassador of China to Nigeria.
The
ambassador of China to Nigeria came out and told us how much it cost for those guys to come. We are looking for money to give to our citizens at home, so that they will not die inside the house. You are talking of importing. It was Airpeace that brought them straight flight for 14 hours from China to Abuja. Do we need them? The people that are killing our own children and frustrating and putting them on the street.
Okay, but no, you can't say that. You can't say that because we don't
have the videos.
No.
We have the videos.
But that will not be tendered here. That will be tendered in the court, not here, please.
We should
back to you,
if I may add to that.
Yeah, and why you add to it, please. Whatever you know will not the progress of this discussion, please put it aside.
What I want to add to it is that the countries that have this coronavirus now, the one that has the highest number of deaths is USA, is America. How many Chinese doctors have gone to America?
Are you also forgetting the fact that
the US? Wait, how many Chinese doctors?
Are you comparing a developed polity with that of a developing polity?
I will say that our doctors are not they are not competent enough.
But can you also say that? Can you also say that the Nigerian polity is developed?
See, let me tell you, our doctors are highly competent. Even if you go to US and you go to America, you find Nigerian doctors all over the place. Even in Saudi Arabia.
But the big question here is, don't you think
they are highly competent? Why will you not be bringing?
We are not in the court.
Why will you not be bringing? Why will you be bringing Chinese doctors?
Don't you think that there's a huge gulf between the US and Nigeria? So you making comparison?
No. What I've said is that if Chinese doctors should want to assist anybody, they should go to US, they should go to Italy, they should go to Spain. Those ones have the highest number of deaths from coronavirus that originated from Wumi.
But they are already assisting developed countries. We have reports where our ancestors are giving to these developed countries. So they are already assisting. So what's stopping them from assisting developing countries like Nigeria?
Our doctors are competent enough to take care of the problem. They are competent enough. The best you do is that, okay, send out our doctors to go and undergo training.
But again, let's look at this. The federal government did not say that our health workers are not competent enough. What they are saying is that they need to step up and assistance.
Why are you bringing in doctors? Why are you bringing in doctors from China? They are the cause of the problem. Why are you bringing in doctors from China when we have doctors here? Our doctors are competent. They can fight this disease. They can cure it. All the people that have recovered from the isolation centers, is there any word they said is the Chinese doctor that treated them? You understand? Because if they were coming in voluntarily, we are not paying any money. Because the pandemic started from China. If they were not coming in, that as our donation to the world, that since it originated from us, we want to now help you people to fight it. Don't bother about our money coming in and all that. We'll pay. We'll write out the debt. Then Nigerians will say, okay, fine. The world will now look at them as, yes, they are trying to make retribution. You understand? Since it started from there, they are now trying to help the world. Why coming and we will not be the one paying? You are the cause of the problem.
Thank you, Ebosele Okefo. Ebosele Okefo is a custodian of the law, as you can see, and he was former PRO to NBA Benin branch and also legal counsel to NBA Benin branch, and currently member of the National Executive Committee of the NBA. And big thanks to you, Bishop Austin Igbasa, who is the Bishop General Overseer of Sword of Liberation Bible Church. Let's shift our attention back to Edo State, where we have the curfew being imposed by the state government on the state, and dusk to dawn curfew, which kick-started yesterday. Yes. And the state governor did say that this is a way of curtailing the spread of COVID-19 in the state. What do you make of this development, Bishop Austin?
Well, to me, I feel that the dusk to dawn is not really effective as taking precautions in marketplaces, other areas. Now, this spread of the disease move more in the daytime than in the evening, because the number of people that move in the night are lesser. The number of people that relate or transact are lesser in the night than the daytime. But like I said, I'm not the governor of Edo State, so I don't know the information that the governor have at his disposal that will have made him, if it is security, I accept it. But in the area of spreading COVID-19, I believe that the measures to be taken are the daytime measure.
Okay.
Because more, like all the markets in primary school now, as we are talking at the moment. Now, if you go to all the market, you see close contact. There is no social distancing, and it's not everybody that use face mask. It's not everybody that sanitize in the market. Now, the area, I think that fumigation of market supposed to be like 5 days. And if it is to be shut down and people take their things out of the market, and when the fumigation is completed, people return back. And the issue of social distancing, the issue of face masks, thank God for all the Obioma, all the tailors who have resumed duty. What we are putting on now is this Obioma construction. It's not this one. It's not a digitalized face mask. But that is what Nigerians can do. They can tell. That is why when Barrister said, Nigerians, when they see leadership, they follow. Nigerians are not difficult people. When they see forthright leaders, they follow them. Nigeria adjust. Other country now, they can't do what we are doing here. Sit there at home, don't pay them. Look at Europe, look at Spain. They go and collect 300,000. They put it in their account. People just go to ATM and collect it. They don't need to look at your face if you're a Christian or Muslim or bricklayer or painter or lawyer or whatever. Just go there and get it. These are developed. These people that we're talking developed society. They didn't jump from heaven. They are also human beings. But what they do is that they do more thinking than we. What I feel is that the restriction is good. People are coming in from Lagos. Like I said, as we are talking now, we say Abuja is locked down. But I can tell you that vehicle move from Utako.
People are still trickling in.
Utako garage at 5 a.m. They will leave Abuja to other states. So why is it that our people, the total lockdown we are talking about, they just tell you that okay, we have additional 10,000 to it because we have checking point where we have to a toll gate now, where we have to pay. We used to pay 500 now. We pay 1,002 in each of the toll gate. If the security agencies are sincere and they know that we want to lock down, and this is about safety of Nigeria, it will be a total lockdown. So that is why I said it's a good development because I don't have information that the governor have. But to me, I feel that fumigation of market that should be done, not going through those 30 days. People fumigate places, even our houses and everywhere. We fumigate, people fumigate their office. After 5 days, they come in there. Let those measures are more powerful than the measure of night.
But that has been ongoing. Fumigation of marketplaces.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. What I'm saying is that it should be over by now. People that want the people that sell food should be back to market now, and the social distance must be maintained in the market. Sanitizer and all the rest of them should be made available by the government that people can have. We even heard that Kai and some other things, hydrogen peroxide and other, that when they put it together, they can do this sanitizer. It is not a rocket science. What I feel is that these things should be affordable, we should be accessible for the poor, and people should return to market. Because if you go to market, I passed through market before I came in here, as early as this morning, you see people, they is thickly populated, and we are talking about spreading this virus. They should return back. We thank him that he has not locked down the state, because if he has locked down the state, maybe we would have been experiencing double of what Ogun State are experiencing. Armed robbery attack and everything here. You know, our own here is digitalized. Anything that enter our state here takes another dimension. So thank God for the governor who have done this. But I say that the fumigation of the market must be true. It is not a 30 days affair. It is not something that, if that is how people fumigate, even forests, you will not fumigate it for 30 days.
Thank you. You made a good point when you spoke about the very fact that some persons are trickling down to states in spite of the lockdown.
Yes, sir.
And where they are coming from.
Yes.
And you also spoke about the sincerity of the law enforcement agents in order to ensure that the borders are closed. That again could be a big reason why the state government brought about the curfew of the dusk to dawn, because that again will tighten the borders. What do you think about this?
Yes, I think I want to also join the bishop to commend the state governor, Governor Obaseki, for introducing this dusk to dawn curfew. Because normally these people that are coming from the states that are practicing this lockdown in quotes, they actually come into the state in the night. So I'm sure he must have security reports that people are coming into the state in the night. And you cannot now vouch for those people as to their health status, as to their COVID-19 status. I'm sure that's why he did that. Because if you go to Sapler Road now, you see them still loading vehicles going to Delta. And Delta are telling us that they are on total lockdown. Kogi State is telling us that they are on total lockdown. I've seen somebody that came all the way from Abuja. How did you now pass all those, pass Kogi State and you enter those states? You know, on those states and all that.
And again, the challenge is guest houses, night ports.
There's actually no sincerity,
which really thrive at night.
Purpose, you understand? I've been to the market. I've been to New Benin Market, the primary school that they located to. I want to commend the state government, because if you really get to those markets, even though there's actually no social distancing when you enter the market, but before you gain entry into the market, they make sure that you sanitize your hand, you wash your hand and all that before you gain entry into the market. And they also make sure that you must wear your face mask before you are able to enter. Then even like yesterday, like First Bank now for about 2 weeks, they have not opened. Yesterday that they opened, there was a directive, they said they got a directive from the state government that nobody should be allowed to enter the bank without a face mask. I think the state government is trying very well. And this is where we enjoy the governor, because he doesn't just rush to take action. Like now, why should we have a total lockdown in Edo State when our neighbors, they've already announced a lockdown of their states? There's no need. If you want to go to Asabana, if they are actually enforcing their own lockdown very well, you cannot enter Delta. You cannot enter Delta through Agbo Road. You cannot enter Delta through Sapler Road. You cannot enter Kogi through Auchi Road. You cannot enter Ondo State through Lagos and all that, because all those states are already on lockdown. So there was no need for us to now start saying we will have our own total lockdown. I think I commend the government. I commend him for the way he's handling everything, and he's personally monitoring the situation to see that it goes well. If the federal government should take a cue from that, we won't be having all this problem. We just saw recently, about 2 days ago now, when they buried Abakari. We saw that there was no social distancing. We even saw that one of those that participated in the laying down of the man pulled off his mask and abandoned it somewhere, and people were interacting. Now they are apologizing to Nigeria. Why will you not be apologizing? Is there apology? Somebody was convicted. Funke Akedele was convicted for holding a party during this COVID-19 lockdown in Lagos. You know, instead of her explanation that those people were actually on lockdown already in her house and all that, they still convicted her. She paid 100,000, and she was sentenced to 14 days community service. You understand? Such a person should be apologized to, in view of what happened during the time of Abakari. Then our own information minister, Lai Mohammed, told us that anybody that dies of COVID-19, the dead body will not be released. Reason being that COVID-19 has a limit. It has a limitation. If they say if it's on maybe something iron, it takes about some hours. If it's in your hand, it takes some hours before it affects. If it's in your throat, it takes some hours and all that.
Of course,
so
not medical doctors to say that.
That's what they said. That's what they are saying. Now, if somebody now dies of COVID-19, it may still be with the person for a long time before it will wear out.
But again, reports today, the task force did say that the corpses are not infectious. That was what we read on the papers today.
Why is now, after they've already breached it, that's why they are not saying this. After they are breaching, you came out to say that anybody that dies of COVID-19, the body will not be released. You understand? You came out and told us that we must do social distancing and that there should be no more than 20 people gathering in one place at the same time. Yet, Abakari died and everything, you threw it out of the window. That is why we cannot make progress in this country. Because you just make a law and you feel that some people are above the law. And you want other people to obey the law.
Okay, but don't you think even while the law is in place, don't you think that a lot has to do with the followers, the Nigerians, who, though most times find it difficult to comply with government directives?
Now, the people that witnessed the burial of Abakari, are they not government officials in Abuja? They are the high-placed people. Have you heard that they have arrested them? Have you heard that they have quarantined them? All those that attended that burial, that participated in it. Have you heard that they have been quarantined?
The government officials didn't
they did not quarantine them. They did not comply. So what we are saying is that you have to lead by example, for God's sake. You understand? You lead by example. You don't just say because you are the head there, because people are looking at you. Even right from your family. As the head of the family, you have to behave well. Your conduct has to be above board. For your wife and your children to obey whatever you say.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
The federal government should lead by example. Those that are ruling us should learn to lead by example so that Nigerians can follow.
Okay, thank you. The curfew imposed on the state by the state governor is going to take 10 days. And the governor did say that in the course of that, they will be increasing testing. You know, because the problem here has been the challenge of testing, because a lot of persons that go about their normal duties are not being tested. Do you see the state government, though there has been, according to the reports, that the state government has procured about 15 ventilators and 2 testing machines. But you see the state government as having the capacity to conduct a huge number of testing in the state.
I think the step the governor have taken, like we said, a lot of persons who had contact with late Abakari in that time, many of the politicians did not go and test themselves. Many of them did not isolate. But like our governor went for isolation for those number of days. That is a sign of a good leader. The Speaker of the House isolated himself for those number and admitted and follow the prescription and everything. Today is cure. It's a sign of good leadership. Yes. That it is not people that say something and they are doing another thing. Because I shake the man, I don't need to go and do. Where Barrister is talking about all the people that attended. Garba Shehu and all of them attended. And how many of them have been quarantined now? Now, do you know the danger? Now, NCDC did not tell us the danger of those people entering the town back again to go and meet their wife and children and other people. They didn't tell us what will be the effect if any one of them has contacted that thing in the process of the burial. It's not apology. It's about the danger of what the attendants in that burial will have done to other people. Now, let's come back to leadership. It's about, I've just mentioned about what the governor has done. And for him, now, with the curfew, if you remember Yobe State, it was a tank driver, a trailer driver that was moving fuel from Lagos to Yobe that developed in Bauchi and started coughing and started sneezing and all the rest of them. He was the one that brought in COVID-19 into Yobe State. So what the governor has done is commendable. That the movement of people from Lagos to this place takes place at night. Movement and all kinds of social gathering, like Atiku Abubakar's son that attended night party club in Abuja and the rest of them, put a lot of people in danger. A lot of party, a lot of clubs are going off in the night and all that. So some persons may contact it. Some people even sneak into the state at night and go to a hotel and mix with people. So with this lockdown, but what the governor have done is good. But in my place, they said, you not beg Chris man, you dey beg native doctor, we won't do the medicine. If native doctor do the medicine, Chris man not drink am. To drink am, that be the prayer point. To say, make you open mouth, drink am. Now, governor is not going to be on the street to maintain this law. Governor is not going to come to Oluku to maintain if people are coming from Lagos. Now, it is the security agencies that we need to beg that this thing we put in place, they shouldn't look at, because I said it yesterday that checking point becomes a Roger point. We are, you say, thank God, hey, lockdown, don't enter Edo State now. Curfew is going to be our money making machine. They should go with the spirit of the governor that we want to protect our people. We want to curb movement of people at night and the spread of this thing. And also, you talk about the man has started from somewhere to test people, because one of the things I raised at the beginning of this COVID-19 is that even the security agencies that are putting their mouth inside motor, who are you? Where are you coming from?
Have they been tested?
Have they been tested to know if they are carrier of the coronavirus? And the man they are stopping who has not carried it, they want to distribute it and give it to him. Now, the issue is that the security agencies themselves that are interacting with people must be tested. If they are not tested, they must be kitted. They must be kitted beyond just face mask. They must be kitted, and they have their sanitizer, hand glove and everything, and they should talk to people from distance, not shook him out into a person's car. Now, if somebody, I tell you, don't talk to people from distance. What is your name? The man can talk from there. Maintain social distance, even at that checking point, so that you don't shook mouth into people's mouth and either give somebody who have not had before. They should be tested, because they are even at risk. And they can be a risk to other people if they are carrying. If they collect your ID card as a journalist, okay, you are essential service, and they give it back to you, and you don't sanitize your hand, you touch your ID card, you also become a carrier. So their life is at risk. They should be kitted, or these tests we are talking about. But for the government to come out with that, to say we have so capacity to test people, let's praise him. My father said somebody bring 15 naira, you say make go kill her. What are you not bring money? Wait till you go say make you kill her. Yes. If the man has started from somewhere, if it is even 100 and said this is our capacity, let's do it from here, and we can build up on that. I also believe that there are biochemistry students and lab technologists that we can even bring together now, who are even jobless, who are graduates, that we can bring them together, and some of them can even design this machine we are talking about. Test. But because one of our problems is that we don't always believe in ourselves.
Okay, do you mean this can be done locally?
Locally, it can be done locally. This ventilator can be done locally by our own people. This respiratory something can be done by our own people. Ebola came, we didn't bring Chinese doctor, we surmounted Ebola.
Okay, but we are trying to also look at the possibility of having them genuine enough for healthcare practice, because again there's this always the other side, the other impression of people faking genuine products.
What I'm saying, Philip, is that you see, one thing is that we don't believe in ourselves. Barrister mentioned it during Jonathan's time. Every car, including road safety, army, it is innocent. When you buy from innocent, you don't pay for clearing. You don't pay, you don't waste time in the port. You don't pay for bringing the vehicle here. All monies are wiped away. Why is it that a politician wants something that what is going to be in between is what they are after? Now, when you do that to innocent, all our boys here in Polytechnic who are to do IT there, they have somewhere to go. The staffs there, you have boost the economy of our own people. But today we bring SUV from somewhere, 2020 model. We want to sit inside, and we say we are the leader of the people. How many of those house of rep have their office in their own locality? What I'm saying is that it should be leadership. We should look inward. Nigeria are not fake people. We are doing good things. Even some of our army are doing armor tank now, that they produce it by themselves. We didn't buy it from anywhere. But this capacity, we have looked down ourselves. Today, the best person in a medical doctor in US is a Nigerian. Yes. All our politicians that are running to UK, people that treat them are Nigerian doctors over there. So if those people are doing so well, nothing stops us. We have the capacity. God is partial about us. We can do ventilator here. Our boys can do it. They can do. Let us forget about this fake. Nigerians, when they want to do things, they do it well. Our boys do Lamborghini. They do jets here. Let us look inward. Go to South Korea today, you cannot see Peugeot, you cannot see lighters, you cannot see Mercedes, you can only see Choi, Chang, this. They will copy other people and do it and name it their own person. You cannot see Toyota in South Korea.
But why we do that? You were about saying something, but it didn't come out, so I can't hold you on that. But why we do that, I'm thinking it's also good to set a task force to check the credibility of the products that are locally produced. I think that is important if at all we want to go in that direction.
No, of course not. They have to, if they are producing it, of course, there has to be a body. It's also a way of...
Like the Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Yeah, it's also creating employment. That's
yes.
If they are doing it, there are, of course, there will be bodies that will test.
Because we have this issue of hand sanitizers, for instance.
It works.
This issue of hand sanitizers, for instance, that are locally made. Don't forget
that even during the Civil War, even though some of us were not born then, during the Civil War, from history, we are aware that there was a total blockage of the East Yes, they were able to manufacture bombs. They were able to refine their own fuel. They were able to have an airport and everything. But after the Civil War, they now said, for daring to rebel, you people will never have progress. And that is why those things die natural death. Now, Innocent Motors has come out, manufacture cars. We would have expected the federal government to even bring out a law to say no more buying of vehicle. Let us concentrate on Innocent Motors. And before you know it, yes, before you know it, you see that everything. That's the leadership example I'm talking about.
And I think that's the direction of the president. Yeah, that's the direction of the government of Buhari.
Yes,
patronizing local trade.
You are coming to where we are coming from now. Now that's why we are saying that when we start attacking Buhari, you will start getting angry that why are we attacking him? Now, as the president, as Obaseki is there now, if you go to government house tomorrow, there's an occasion in government house, and you meet that the food they are going to serve you in government house is our local ubiaja rice or our local rice that they serve you.
That would be appreciated.
And they are not saying that no more foreign rice. Gradually, people will go away from that foreign rice. If you get to Aso Rock and you are served the Ofada rice,
yes,
you are served our local rice, and you see that no more
leadership example.
Leadership example. You don't be at the head there. You don't be at the head there. Your son will use over 80 million naira to go and buy a power bike. Somebody that is not working anywhere, and you expect me that is working under you now to be corruption free. It's difficult.
Thank you.
You understand? Because when I see you are living by example, you don't need to force me again, because I now know that if I go contrary to the way you are living, I will go in for it. You understand? If Funke can be convicted for breaching COVID-19 law in Lagos State, why will you now go and be burying Abakari and people will be there all over and you release the corpse? Why don't hold the corpse meanwhile? When everything is over, it cannot be buried.
Thank you for expressing your thoughts on this, and big thanks to you,
Let there be
Bishop
leaders
Austin
by example, and we don't have problem in this country.
And big thanks to you, Bishop Austin Igbasa, for taking our time, and of course, Ebusele Okifo. I wish you the best of the day.
Thank you very much.
Well, there's the much we can take on the discussion, and it's still this morning on ITV. Next is insurance segment.